You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hey folks, it's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the earliest things that makes official. Welcome to the show. As always, the Chris Voss Show brand was began in 2008. We've been doing this podcast since, I think, August of 2009, and we just love it. 16 years, 2,500 episodes, and we're going to double that amount, or triple that amount, or I don't know what we're doing, but it's a lot. Anyway, 48 new shows every month, folks. Make sure you watch every single one, front to back. There's a test at the end of every month, and if you don't pass it, we'll unscrew one of your Christmas lights. So none of them work. You'll know which one it is. Don't make us resort to violence, folks. Refer your show to your family, friends, and relatives.
Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind.
Anyway, guys, we have an amazing young man on the show. We're going to be talking to him about some of his innovations, his entrepreneurial journey, and what he's up to now, and how he's got some innovations that could improve the quality of your life. Sleep. It's always a good thing. We're going to get into it, but don't fall asleep on the show. We're just going to be talking about sleep and beds and all that stuff. Paul Longman is the founder and CEO of iSense. It's a company dedicated to transforming the way people buy and experience sleep. I can buy sleep if you buy the right mattress. With decades of experience leading luxury mattress products, Paul has been at the forefront of the sleeping industry, gaining unparalleled insight into what customers truly want. A mattress that delivers long-lasting comfort and support for both partners without compromise. What if you're a polygamist, though? I mean, both partners. What if you have like 6 wives? Is there room for that? We'll get into it. Over the years, Paul has recognized a fundamental law in the way mattresses are sold. Shoppers are expected to choose a product meant for sleep while they are wide awake, fully dressed, and lying in a bed store for only a few minutes. I don't know. I tried the alternative of that, and the judge says I can't do it anymore. Get naked in a mattress shop. The process, he realized, sets people up to fail, especially couples with different sleep needs. His vision is clear. Fix the problem that's broken in the buying process and empower customers to personalize their sleep over time. Welcome to the show, Paul. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Chris. Great to be here.
Thanks for coming. Give us your .coms or wherever you want people to find out more about you on the interwebs in the sky.
So they're all loaded up on myisense.com. That's myisense.com. Mm-hmm. And I guess we've got our Instagram at myisense, our Facebook at /myisense, LinkedIn at /company/iSense Sleep, YouTube at iSense Sleep, and Pinterest is at myisense. They're all loaded up on the bottom of the website.
So give us a 30,000 overview of what iSense is.
Sure. I guess 37 years now in the mattress industry. Started as a young man in Australia.
Yeah.
Sort of worked my way through the rank and file, and got involved with some of the best brands in the world. And
you've been living in bed all these years.
I have been living. It's actually one of the perks of working in a mattress factory. You get to try a lot. You get to sleep through the day, and make
Boss,
sure
I'm not sleeping on the job. I'm just testing this mattress.
I've used that line for a lot of years.
I love it. I'm in the wrong job, clearly. Are you hiring?
Always.
I could have gotten paid for all this damn sleep I'm always doing. Oh man, what a thing. So how long has the company been around, and what got you started? You work with all these different brands, and then you're like, I want to do maybe something different. How'd that play out?
Yeah. So iSense been around 9 years. I spent my career predominantly in Australia. I met my wife, who was from the Midwest in America.
Oh.
She moved to Australia with me. We worked for some of the best mattress companies in the country and some of the best brands and technologies. And And I guess through the sort of the last 10 years of my tenure, we actually introduced an airbed into the industry and into the marketplace. And it was an interesting technology because it was the first the country had ever seen about being able to adjust the comfort on both sides of the mattress.
Mm-hmm.
The bed was made using a big airbag for support and the usual comfort on top of that. And one of the feedback that we were getting regularly is, can I have the comfort of a traditional mattress, but the adjustability of an airbed?
Yeah.
That sort of spawned on some thinking as to how we could put together, reorganize these components in a way that we could make something really special. So I got the entrepreneurial bug. I packed up. My wife and I moved to her hometown in the Midwest, Missouri. And we set about trying to design, create, and build something uniquely different, and really trying to solve a very specific problem. And that is, I think most people recognize when you go into a mattress store, it's a really difficult time to pick the right bed.
Yeah, I mean, you feel weird if you, I do. You feel weird if you lay on it too long and you're like, well, I am dirty. I'm getting this bed nasty. And then you're like, how many other people have stopped in the store and slept here? It's like a hotel bed, you know? And, but you can't really get comfortable, you don't really relax because you're in the public, Yeah. Me. What do you think about these? There's a lot of companies now that do this thing where they mail you the bed and they give you like a 30-day, 90-day guarantee, and if you don't like it, you can send it back. And
so it's like going from bad to worse. You start with the store where, as you've described, it's not your environment, it's not how you sleep, and then that if that gets thrown out and you get one sent to you, then somebody's made that choice for you. So you're actually moving further away from making a choice. And of course, there's generally two people involved. So I guess if you look in a store where there's so much merchandise, it's like the Goldilocks. You just keep trying, and this one's too hard, this one's too soft, this one's just right. Where it goes terribly wrong is when you get home. It's one thing about how you might go to sleep, how you might dress for bed, out the temperature of the room, but the real problem is that when you go into a deep sleep, REM sleep, you actually become paralyzed. Your body can't move. It's in essentially a dead weight. The reason for that is if you have all of these nasty or crazy or awesome dreams, it stops you from acting them out. So the reason that's important is, if you think about it, you can be sleeping with legs crossed over, hand over the head. You just can't replicate that in a store in the middle of the day, kids in tow, stressed, whatever it might be. So the real magic
up in the air and
as it happens. Can you imagine going into a store and being told, please replicate how you might lay in your bed in the middle of the night?
I roll all around. I've got a big thing between my knees, a big pillow between my knees. Sometimes I lay on my back. Sometimes, I probably roll every position 100 times through the night. Like I'm constantly rolling back over.
It's always a question as to whether you go to bed with a feeling good and waking up bad, or whether you go to bed bad and wake up feeling better. Hopefully the latter is what we can help people with.
Hopefully. So let's talk about these beds. What makes them special and unique? I noticed there's maybe one or two versions on your bed. Let's drill down into what makes these special.
Yeah, so every mattress, no matter whether it was since they developed and designed and created the inner spring, or whether you were sleeping on straw 150 years, it doesn't matter. All along, there's two key components. There's support and there's comfort. And essentially what everybody's looking for is the right balance of how much support do I need based on how I sleep, and how much comfort do I need based on trying to get pressure relief. So one's really there to support your body, particularly when it goes into that state of REM sleep and all that body mass just kind of drops and you become a dead weight. But also while you're in that state, you want to get the best pressure relief that's possible. So there's support and comfort. The magic of iSense is what we developed is we took air technology that was already being used as an air support system, which is pretty cool for a tire. You pump your tire up, it's nice and firm and holds the car up, but as soon as you let air out, you lose support. It's the same in a mattress. You let air out of an airbed and you just sink into it and it becomes a hammock. So what we tried to do is reorganize all these components, and we've managed to create a mattress where without any use of air, it's a solid mattress. It's comfortable, it's plush. But when we add air to the chambers, there's 7 air cells on either side of the bed. When you add air into those air cells, it actually stiffens the foam. So we can go from a very loose, plush, mattress to stiffening the foam, creating a greater support in the mattress. So this can all be done at the touch of a button on both sides of the bed. So the idea here is get the bed home. When you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? And that's when you can make some slight adjustments until you dial the thing in and you're not waking up with back pain or pressure points. And it really brings the power of choice into the home rather than into the retail store.
There we go. I was someone who lived on the floor with a bad back for a lot of years, and I would just have a thin foam mattress, and I had to keep my neck and my back aligned. And I had the hardest time finding a bed that would work for me. One thing I see that's kind of interesting is it looks like there's of the gray foams that kind of are in the body area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments of I guess I'm not sure foam is the right word, but basically these will expand.
Yes, so in between those segments you're looking at, there's a air cell. When that air cell expands, it actually expands into the foam, which causes the foam to stiffen.
Oh.
So we can mechanically change. So instead of that line of mattresses in a retail store where one's soft, one's medium, one's firm, one's extra firm, we can actually mechanically do that in the bed at the touch of a button in your home.
And so it looks like it has an app as well, too?
Yep.
Okay.
So the bed as a full set is the mattress that adjusts the comfort on both sides. It also sits on an adjustable foundation where you can elevate your feet, elevate the back, and help in other ways. We also have an adjustable pillow. So the whole sleep set is really there to customize and dial in for you and your partner what you need. We can control all that from an app. We also have a biometric sensor in the bed. So, if you want to walk 10,000 steps a day, you look at your app and it can tell you that you'd walk 7, so you get up and go for another walk. With a mattress, there's no point being told you're sleeping bad if you can't do anything about it. So the magic of iSense is that if you do measure your sleep and it's telling you that it's not working out so well for you, you can make adjustments and wake up the next morning to see how you feel.
I love it. And then like I said, we were talking pre-show. The issue I always have with my girlfriends, because of my bad back, I have to have like a really hard support system. And I've been up to 350, 400 pounds. I'm now down in the 200s, thank God. But even then, I carry a lot of weight kind of in my center. Like I have an ass the size of Cleveland, I guess, or something. But I carry like my whole hips are what fall mostly into the bed.
Yeah.
And so that creates that V where it'll screw my back up and I'll wake up in traction. And having those individual supports. Now, each one of those bags, do they move as a system, or can you like push one? So like say I wanted my hips to go up, or maybe
no, they operate through. They're not independent.
Okay.
But basically, where your body mass is and the shape of your body, they actually balance out. So they're actually compensating for the shape that you're pressing into each of those cells. So
in watching the animation, it looks like it will lift my hips up.
Yes.
So
and again, it's that tipping point. The support which every mattress has, the comfort which every mattress has. But when you buy a static mattress, you've locked into that comfort and support. Whereas with iSense, you can actually vary. You can increase the support, increase the level of pressure relieving comfort, depending on what you need. One of the things with the data we collect from the mattress, we actually see it takes about 32 nights of people when they first get on an iSense mattress. They make a few adjustments in the first week, a few less adjustments in the next week, and it takes about a month where they just make small adjustments so they can see how they feel the next morning before they pretty well lock and load. So if you take a store, when you buy a single mattress, can't adjust on either side, you get one moment in time. Where we really find people take about 30 nights to dial in an iSense mattress.
Adjustable air foam technology with 20 firmness options on each side. Yep. And so I was saying, there was one point where I had a girlfriend who she really wanted the soft mattress. And so I finally had relent, and I literally put these boards in my bed to keep my back straight. Like literally I was laying on boards and a soft pad over it. And
we designed it to take care of all of that for you. You just need to pick up the remote or the app.
Yeah.
Change the support setting on either side, and you've done what the bed was designed to do.
And I've had people say, well, Chris, these beds you like are kind of expensive. I'm like, do you know how many fights you save with your girlfriend if you both get good sleep and she gets what she wants on her side and you get what you want on your side? You can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on good sleep either. That's for sure. I mean, if I don't sleep well, I don't function well. People get killed. That's what some of the murders or rampages I went on because I didn't get sleep, or maybe it was low caffeine. It was one of those two. I was angry, but that's some of the ankle bracelets that are coming off soon. Depending upon the judge rules. But no, if I don't get good sleep, man, I'm a bean bear. I'm ornery. I've kind of reached the age now where I don't even like to drive if I'm not getting a significant amount of sleep a number of days in a row. I kind of went through a recent thing where I was going through I couldn't sleep for more than 4 hours at a time. It was really weird. Nothing I could do. I tried, dropping 5 pounds of edibles into my system, and I just lay there going, I'm really relaxed, but I'm wide awake. And I just went through this period where I just could not get more than 4 hours of sleep. So I'd have to do 2 different sleeps through the day. And it was wrecking me. It's just destroying my mental state. They say Alzheimer's patients, dementia patients, if you're abusing your brain with not getting enough sleep and rest, you have a high likelihood, I think, of getting these. If I've heard the data correctly.
Yeah, the sleep cycle is not just rest; it's rejuvenation. Everything in your body is reworking itself. Cells are redeveloping, and without it, we put ourselves at serious risk. But you're the perfect ambassador because you've you put boards under the bed, you've tried everything. But when you talk like that, you're essentially reminding everybody that why would you need to do that? Why should you do that? Why doesn't the industry give you products that allow you to do that? Why rely on some sort of secondary type? Let's climb out of bed. Let's sleep on the floor. Why not pick up the remote and make the adjustment? And every other industry around us does that. If you think about buying a new car, you go into a dealership, and they this car you've been waiting to sit in and drive away, and you get in, you move the seat, you move the mirror, you move the radio, everything about it that's around you in that vehicle, that cockpit of the vehicle, you're adjusting to get it just right. Well, and then imagine if the salesperson hits the magic button, it all gets locked in place. And you take the vehicle home just like you take the mattress home where you can't do anything else with it. Your wife gets in the car and says, I want to move it, move the seat forward. You can't. This is what I bought. This is what you have to live with. Well, that's the mattress industry when it comes to how they look at adjustability. It's you get one shot in a store in a moment in time, and you hope you get it right, and it's a crapshoot.
Wow. You're right. I mean, why can't we make it more customizable? One size not fit all. I mean, if you have injuries to your back like I did, or I guess I still do, I can irritate them if I'm not careful, but I've been really good. I've gone to the gym and I've tried to build up my core so that's really helped my back issues actually. But sleeping on a good, healthy bed that I don't wake up. I have problems traveling. Like if I stay in hotel beds, I'm in trouble. So I can't stay on the road for too long. I really just need to buy an RV. That way I can maybe have one of these units in one of the beds. Now, another thing your beds do, it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like they both units have fold-ups where you can sit up in bed too.
Sure. So, we encourage people to sort of really put it together as a full set, so that not only can you adjust the support and comfort of the mattress, you can also change the elevation if you want to sit up at night watching TV while your partner's laid flat sleeping. You have options with the flex head where the bed's still one mattress, but it's split at the head, so you can actually operate either side independently. You could sleep with some elevation if you have problems with the airways and you may be trying to deal with snoring. If you've got blood flow problems, you can raise the feet and sort of elevate the bed so you get better blood flow, take pressure off your lower back. Adjustability every way possible, whether it's in the support or the comfort, but the elevation or even the pillow, because the pillow is the bed for the head. You've got to get that right. In fact, most travelers could probably survive a bad mattress if they've got a great pillow.
Oh, yeah.
Problem is if you get a bad mattress in a hotel and a bad pillow, which I've just had recently on this journey, it's pretty ugly.
I feel for you, man. I know what
Makes
that's like.
you get home back to your bed.
Yeah. You're just like, well, I'm going to stay in bed, but then hold on, I can't stay here because I'm going to end up a pretzel if you can't win. I can't tell you how many hotel room floors I've slept on because I just can't, I get in them and they're just like, who slept in this? It's like an elephant slept in them and crushed out the middle. And it's like so soft. You're just like, dude, I'm like in the V position, just laying on my back, because the internals of the bed have fallen into on itself or something.
Do you go to bed with the backache that you wake up with?
No, because
that's the ultimate challenge.
Yeah.
Like if you can step into bed at night actually feeling pretty good, loose because you've been moving around all day, and you can wake up the next morning as good or better than you went to bed, then you've absolutely mastered this problem.
Yeah, and part of it was I bought a bunch of pillows too one time and was testing them all out to see which one, and Amazon fortunately was willing to return them all. So I went through a pillow buying phase, and you're right, the pillow does make the difference too, because for me, that sucker's got to be aligned. It can't be propped up like this, or like that. But yeah. So, what else about the technology in your beds do we need to talk about?
So we've included into the construction of the materials with some cooling technology, which I know these days has really come to the forefront. So the foams that we use, they're really quite unique. They're an open cell, very breathable, and actually the more weight you put on them, and if it draws any temperature, the more bouncy it becomes, more buoyant. So instead of just sort of sinking in, the materials are working to really give you that bounce back support. We're using the best. The reason it costs what it costs is we're using the best springs, the best foams, and these 14 air cells, 7 on either side, to give you that adjustability. Collectively, it's a really unique experience.
Yeah, and it's so does it warm and cool, or what sort of temperature?
So we do have available. That we sell online as well, a mechanically driven heating and cooling, where you can put air vents into the bed. We partner with a company called BedJet, and that allows you on both sides of the bed again, because everything we do has to accommodate the needs of two people if they're sharing a bed. So there can never be something where you can't have your own independent temperature control, your independent comfort, your independent elevation, and of course everybody has their own pillow, so that goes without saying. But so temperature, pressure, support, elevation is all part of the set that we create to give people the ultimate choice of comfort.
And I've got a relative who has, I think, GERD or just issues with sleep apnea and stomach issues and different things, and so for her, the upright mattress that can lift a little bit to keep the stomach from throwing up really helps her and stuff. So that's really
one element. Well. That's one element of the industry that's really come a long way, is that at least adjustable foundations to give you that elevation have really come into their own in the last decade.
Like I say, people ask me, they're like, these beds are expensive, and I'm like, you can't put a price on sleep. Like you kind of reach an age, like I think you can get away with crap until you're maybe 20 or 30, but you kind of reach an age where you really need your sleep, and your whole day. I mean, my day, if I don't get my sleep, if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, it ruins my day. Like even if I get 6 hours, I'm gonna have to pick up an hour somewhere, and it will affect my day. It will affect my mindset. It will affect. I practice stoicism, so I'm not a victim, but it will affect me. I'll feel off. I mean, there's sometimes where, like when I was going through recently the 4-hour thing, I was being like, I don't know that I trust myself to drive. I don't
function properly.
Yeah, sure. I could feel. It wasn't that I couldn't drive. It was because I could feel there was a little edge off. And that awareness edge of my surroundings, and in our traffic environment out here, you need to have perception of what's going on around you very well.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about price, and it's not cheap. It is a lot of money, but our the great portion of our customers is it's a big purchase for them. It's not something they take lightly, but at a certain point, we see the demographics where people put sleep before a lot of other things. I mean, when you're younger, you need to put family. You've got a lot of commitments. You're trying to buy a house, and
You got kids, so you're not sleeping anyway.
you put something. You might put this to the side. When you get a little bit older and think the aches and pains come in, and we sell a lot to veterans, nurses, first responders, because they're on the feet all day. They need to rejuvenate, and they put value behind sleep. So it's a big part of who we sell to, so that we can give them the rest they need so they can function again through the day in what is typically a fairly intense workload that they put themselves through. So it works.
Yeah, I mean, it just getting that sleep. Like now in the app, do you do any sleep tracking or anything like that? Is there any AI? Maybe there's lots of AI they're putting into stuff. That's why I ask.
So there's the app controls the firmness of the mattress, controls the elevation of the base, controls the massage units that are in the base as well. So that's great before you go to bed to try to relax the muscles around your back, is to put the massage unit on. It also controls the sleep tracking that's in the mattress, which measures your heart rate, respiration, movement in bed, and all of that information that helps us come back the next morning with a sleep score. And again, use that sleep score as a reference.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be absolute. It's a number. And if you can make adjustments and see that it's going up, you're moving in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
That data also just compiles as data. And we got now 2.6 million nights of sleep recorded. And that tells us a lot about how the product's used. We can tell how long, it takes to fall asleep on average. We can see, what sort of settings people use the bed at. We can see all this collective data when it's put together. It shows us a little bit about how the bed's performing. It gives us a chance to make adjustments. We also find that the average American sleeps about 7.5 hours. On an iSense, it's 8 hours. So we believe we're actually offering people an opportunity to get a longer night's sleep.
Yeah. And I love the reporting that I get from these mattresses, these smart mattresses. Yeah. I look at every morning, okay, how much sleep did I get? And it's always parallel to how good I feel in the morning. I slept for 8 hours or 7 hours. I feel good, but man, sometimes I have weird sleep sometimes where I lay down, and I do have a bad habit of looking at the TikTok or the phone feed, and that light's keeping you awake, that blue light. And you're just like, well, just one more TikTok. I'm sure I'll fall asleep from watching these. And then suddenly the sun's up. But I can tell, sometimes I'll get up and I'll be like, God, I'm really tired, but I'm pretty sure I got 8 hours of sleep because I crawled into bed. I know I tossed and turned a little bit watching some videos, but, and then I'll look at the report and the report goes, no, man, you only got 6 hours of true sleep, man. Yeah. You're just laying in the bed, wasting your time.
One of the inspirations for building the iSense mattress is that, before the mattress was ever designed, people were wearing Fitbits and, smartwatches and smartphones, and it was frustrating because they all record sleep, but they don't help you improve your sleep.
Yeah.
They all record sleep and tell you what you're not doing, but then what do you do to make it better? Sure, you can change the environment. It can talk about, the right temperature in the room, the right light, the right environment, but your sleep surface, the thing you sleep on, is such a major part. And if you can't adjust it, you can't do anything with it, then it's frustrating to record something that when it tells you it's not good, what do you do? So we wanted to create an environment that gives you a lot of control over making adjustments until you get it right.
Yeah, it is a priceless. I call my bed, my smart bed, the I can't live without product. There's a handful of products that I can't live without or function well with, and probably same thing with my pillow, and I follow that data. That's the most important data I look at. I don't even look at my scale data. I look at my sleep data. Every morning I check it. And okay, did I get good sleep? I take a look at my REM. Kind of gives me some warnings sometimes if my heart rate is a little maybe jacked. Now tell us about you do a shift, I think 180 guarantee or some sort of guarantees. Tell us about these guarantees.
Yeah, so we started iSense online only. We started 9 years ago, and the first journey was both designing the technology, but also trying to sell into wholesale, which is into the existing retail platform. And we spent 3 years banged our head against the wall and realized that selling what iSense does against conventional non-adjustable mattresses is kind of a bit of oil and water. It clashes. 2020, just before COVID hit, we turned on the site as a direct-to-consumer only. And of course, to support the offer when people don't get to try it at all, we offered 180 night comfort guarantee, no questions asked, money returned. So it just meant that when they got the bed home, they had the peace of mind that if it wasn't right for them, they had 180 nights to be able to return it. So that just gave peace of mind. But since then, we've opened our first retail store, which you might ask, haven't we just spent this whole podcast talking about the retail process is broken? And so we do something a little different. It's not about picking the right mattress in the store. It's about experiencing what the mattress can do. We can educate on what you can do when you get it home. And so we don't really we don't have to find the right mattress comfort. You don't have to, try a bunch of different mattresses, essentially 2 in the store, 2 variations, knowing full well that when you get it home, you can pick up the app or the remote and make the adjustment. But you actually touched on a point about, maybe you should take your mattress on the road. Well, we are doing that. And we're about to do something that the country's never really seen, and that is to take iSense on the road and take it to people's homes and give them a chance to try it in the comfort of their own environment rather than in a store. The whole theme of trying to improve the buying process, giving people choice, allowing them to make adjustments at home. We also think we've got to change the buying process, not just talk about it, but actually do something about it. So we're reinventing retail around iSense and really giving people the comfort of, getting out of that sort of uncomfortable position of walking to a store in the middle of the day and trying to choose what's right for them. And,
I can't imagine doing that.
We're living it.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing the store thing. So 180 night guarantee if people order, free shipping and delivery. You guys support no return fees, no hassles, no risks, no gimmicks. 10-year full warranty. Tell us about that. That's a pretty good warranty.
It's interesting because our competitors that have adjustability, which is they utilize that big airbag I told you about for the support system. Mm-hmm. They give pro rata warranties on electronics because they say electronics usually don't last as long as other things. Mm-hmm. We decided that the mattress will absolutely last 10 years and everything around it should as well. And if it doesn't, it's on us to make sure that we make the we correct that situation. So if you've got the bed for 9 years and 9 months and it doesn't work out, or there's a manufacturing defect, we'll swap the bed out. And we really want to stand by. We use the best that I can find in this country. The best coils, the best technology and foam that is super durable. We just had a review just dropped on the other day, and it was just heartfelt because it was a 350-pound guy that said he's been looking for the ideal mattress to overcome all the problems that come with being, a large guy. And he said, I waited 2 years to do the review. And it's the first time I've ever read anything like that. He said, I intentionally would not review this product until I'd try to break it for 2 years. And, sure enough, he didn't. And he wrote a glowing story, not just a review, but a story. Mm-hmm. And it just, when you wake up in the morning to go to work to build something that is going to deliver that sort of emotion, keeps you going. So, 10 years full warranty. The materials are tested well beyond 10-year life cycle. But, it really sets us apart that there's 10 full years on the sensors, on the air pumps that drive the air cells. Everything is covered by a full 10-year.
There you go. That's what we love. It's really important to get your sleep. To me, it's the number one investment you should make in your whole life. Like next to, you buy a home, clearly you need to have a place to put your bed. But to me, it's the number one thing. Like I don't even care about how expensive or nice my car is. Give me a good bed, because if you don't sleep well, everything about life is just miserable, especially the older you get. I don't know if it's just me, but I think talking to my mom who's older than me and other people, sleep is just, man, if you don't get your sleep, man, you're just mucked up the older you get. And it's so important because you need that healing, that renewal in your body during your deep sleep. I think it resets a bunch of your cells, and it's cleaning out your system and renewing it. And you got to have that, man. Otherwise I think we've had sleep professionals on that have said that, if you're not getting your sleep on a consistent basis, you have a higher chance for dementia and Alzheimer's because it's breaking your brain. So,
well, if you take what will kill you the fastest, take away oxygen, you're not going to last very long.
That's true.
Take away food and water, you're not going to last long. But take away sleep, it's you'll survive a few days, 3-4 days. You'll go into quite a state. So, sleep is everything you've just described. And I think one of the challenges is people, as they get a bit older and start feeling a few more aches and pains, they don't necessarily relate those aches and pains and the discomfort they're having with the fact that it could be caused by what you're sleeping on and how you sleep.
Yeah.
And because it's sort of progressive, it's degenerative, and you make the link between I'm sleeping on a bad mattress, I need to do something about it, versus I'm getting older and this is the way it's meant to be. Well, it's not. I carry weight. I'm in my 60s. I get up, I spring out of bed in the morning far better than I finish my day, and it's because I've got it right. And I put time. I went to the extreme. I started a company to build a product to fix that, but it's a little bit over the top. But
That's
it
how
works.
entrepreneurs work. That's the beauty of entrepreneurs. They usually try and solve their problem. They're like, yeah, I think I can innovate this and solve my problem this way. And then
it's weird when your neighbor gets up on Sunday morning, he's sending you a sleep score to say, I got 100% last night. You've got a special relationship with people you sell product to.
Yeah, I used to post my sleep thing. I'm like, hey, I got 100% on my score, and I slept for 8 hours or 9 hours, and all the people have kids like, we hate you.
Yeah, that's right. You got canceled.
Like, we hate you. You and your single people in your sleep. But no, it's the most number one important investment you can make in your life, folks. It's been life-changing for me to get into smart beds and find stuff that can be customized to me. So I highly recommend them. How can people find out more? How can they reach out? I think you have some physical stores if you want to tell us where those are at, and then how people can find out more online.
Well, iSense.to. We really got a team who does a great job putting content together, and really, given that we started online only, you've got to really deliver a lot of information. So the website's very informative. There's lots of videos, lots of content, lots of reviews. We opened our first store 12 months ago as a test. It's been an amazing journey, and that's in Springfield, Missouri, in the middle of the country. And we get people flying in from Denver. We get people driving 2-3 hours from other states to come and have a look at it. But so we have the first pilot, but we're getting ready for a much grander rollout. But the starting point is myisense.com, and certainly learn about it. And we make the whole purchase process easy to buy online. And if you're not happy, send it back. We take care of everything.
Yeah. You guys even have a comparison on there from some of the competitors, so people can.
We do. There's another brand out there that has been in the adjustable firmness air category for quite some time, and I've been involved with that with some of those products for a lot of years, and wanted to really engineer a better solution.
Now I see BedJet on your website. I'm familiar with BedJet. We've reviewed them in the past. They've sent us their products and stuff. So is that what you guys use for the cooling system, or you sell it as a separate thing?
Yeah, so it can be sold independent, or it can be sold with a package. But we partnered with BedJet. They've been doing it for a long time now. They've done a great job.
Oh yeah.
Got a unit that's affordable and is very effective. So that's who we partner with. But you can buy as little as a pillow, a BedJet for your side of the bed, or the whole sleep system, from the mattress, the foundation, the dual temperature control. We can package it all up. We provide a variety of different finance options if you need some help to make it affordable.
There you go.
It's all there.
Yeah, the BedJet system is really good. We had gotten some units. I think we reviewed 2 or 3 versions on the Chris Voss Show review podcast, or the YouTube channel there. And I gave the unit to my mom, and she still uses it this day. It's still working. It might be 10 or 7, 8 years old. It's pretty old. I think 2017.
Yeah,
so
they've been around a while.
7 years. Yeah.
He's got a great story because he went on Shark Tank and he got his head bitten off by the sharks, and but he couldn't believe it. He was just left gobsmacked. But he went away and carried on developing the product, and he's made a huge success from it. And, I don't think they realized what was coming, and temperature regulation, temperature control is become such a big thing, and solutions are coming at us from all sorts of angles. But we went with somebody we trusted, and so BedJet is partnered with iSense, and it too is available on the site.
Yeah. So let's give people your .coms as we go out, so people can find out more.
Yep. So www.myisense.com will get you to the site. And at the bottom of the site, all of our tags for all of the various platforms are all laid up.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Chris, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And thanks, Ron, for tuning in. Invest in your sleep, man. The sleep is everything. I got to tell you. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to my audience. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time.